Hello, everyone, and welcome to this bullish market. I decided this day, the day that Nvidia releases its earnings, that I was going to decide once and for all what direction I'm headed with this market. And I think the last bear died figuratively yesterday. There aren't many bears anymore. The VIX is like at 12. When the VIX gets that low, it's a pretty major bullish sign. And Nvidia's earnings were just outrageous. Their revenue tripled. Their margins are 70%. Wow. Today, I now own 300 shares of Nvidia, 200 of which were purchased in the aftermarket. The average cost of them is $963. 4:30 New York time, the price of Nvidia was $1,006. Wow. I think this is like Tesla. It reminds me of Tesla, only it's going to go much longer. Jensen Huang has said this is second only to the Industrial Revolution, and I believe it, simply because artificial intelligence is affecting nearly everything. And I'm investing in the giants of artificial intelligence, and that's Nvidia, of course, the leader. Microsoft, with their 49% stake in the profit arm of OpenAI. Google, which has always been in artificial intelligence and has things like its Gemini product, which are going to be quite interesting. And of course, Amazon with its AWS, which brings in 64% of its profits, which is impressive when I consider that I buy everything through Amazon. So I'm kind of buying what I use, plus the artificial intelligence is going to affect Amazon very positively. I'm also in Berkshire Hathaway, Buffett stock. I just needed to balance out the portfolio a little bit, teensy-weensy bit. But I'm going with those giants, but I'm going to branch back out into the artificial intelligence stocks I've talked about before on this channel. I haven't given up on them. It's just I've been holding and waiting for Nvidia to come through, because literally everything was going to depend on these earnings, and they came through spectacularly. What's even more exciting in my life, and I think to many people out there, it'll give you access to this stock. I mean, not everybody can afford to buy a $900, $1,000 stock, okay? So they did what makes sense. They're going to do a 10-for-1 split, okay? So it'll be around $100. So more people can afford it. And that's got to help the stock price, at least somewhat, or at least make it more accessible. It's like more democratic. And if that $1,000 a share isn't enough for you, they announced that they're now going to pay a big dividend of 10 cents a share. Wow. It's interesting to me that 40% of Nvidia's sales are to three other Magnificent Seven companies, which are Meta, Microsoft, and Google. I own Google and Microsoft. Meta, I feel like I kind of missed the boat on that one, and I consider that I invest in it by day trading the triple Q. I think the T triple Q, I don't know if I'm going to just day trade that anymore. I think I might become at least a swing investor and maybe a longer term investor if this trend continues, because I think we're out of the woods for right now. We would need some very bad news to turn things down now. Nvidia's market capitalization has reached over a whopping $2.3 trillion, and it has made a 90% gain in the last year. To show you how Nvidia has been transformed from a gaming company to a data center company, 22.6 billion of their revenue came from data centers, and 2.6 billion came from their gaming chips. They now get 10 times more revenue from data centers than from their gaming chips, which was the beginning of the company. I'm hoping the aftermarket action on Nvidia holds up, because they added 140 billion to their market capitalization. Wow. Looking at the 1 month chart for the 4 technology giants that I invest in, they've done wonderfully this month, in the last month. Amazon has made about 5%, and Microsoft has made about 8%. Google has made a little over 14%, and Nvidia has made over 24%. What a month, what a month, what a month. Right now, I think the health of the economy is more important than inflation. Not that inflation isn't important, but I think we need the economy to keep producing and keep making jobs. The 10-year rate has come down to about 4.4%, which is good. And I noticed that oil per barrel is coming down into the 70s. So these are good signs that maybe inflation at least isn't going out of bounds. There looks to be little risk that they would actually raise rates. And as long as the economy keeps storming forward, and as long as artificial intelligence, being the juggernaut that it is, it keeps going forward, I think that's what's pushing the economy up. I think it's mostly artificial intelligence, which is why I'm such a believer in it. And I'm going to be branching back into some of the artificial intelligence companies. I just wanted to focus on the big companies, the big users of artificial intelligence for now. But now that Nvidia has secured a spot for at least a couple of months, I can branch out into the lesser sized companies, which can produce great profits also. Thanks a lot.